Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Samuel Mahendra. Today I will do a recap of a corporate finance class at IPMI International Business School taught by Professor Roy Sembel.
MBA. So this is a mind mapping of the corporate finance class that I learned, and the objective of this class is to give the students problem solving skills in finance from the point of view of the management, internal, and also from the point of view of the investor, so from external. And this mind mapping I divided to four a big part. So the company or the firm strategy, and then the investor. Also, we thought about ethics and issues on finance. So starting from the company or the firm strategy, first thing is about the basic of financial management. So I learned about the goal of the firm. There is four basic objective like the basic, operational, social, also research objective. And I also learned about the principal agent problem. So we have the conflict of interest, asymmetric information, and also the moral hazard. And the solution of this principal agent problem is we need to improve the selection process and human capital, some internal mechanism, and we need to do audit both internal and also the external. Also we can hire an independent commissioner. So this is why we need to have a good corporate governance, and there is a tariff. So transparency, accountability, responsibility, independency, and fairness. So we can get a better image, a better performance, and sustainable and significant value creation for the firm. And we have the four cornerstone of corporate finance. There is a core value principle, conservation of value principle, expectation treatment principle, and best owner principle. And we learn five business essential from Professor Ramcharan. So first is cash, profit margin, velocity, growth, and customer focus. And then I learned about the asset management. So there is capital budgeting and capital structure. Capital budgeting we learn in week 1 or week 2, time value of money. So this is about the money value of the money now, and the value in the future is different. And we learn about the payback period. There are three weakness of payback period. So it's do not include NPV, cash flow, and return on top of investment, and discount rate. And we learn also other method like NPV, net present value, profitability index, and also internal rate of return. And from these three, NPV is the better method to assess or to do the capital budgeting. And in capital structure, it's the refer to the amount of debt and or equity employed by a firm to fund its operation and finance its asset. We learn about the theory from Modigliani Miller, and we discuss a little bit about SWF, Sovereign Wealth Fund. This is a state-owned investment fund comprised of money generated by government, often derived from the country's surplus reserves. And we learn about the optimal debt ratio to maximize the value of the firm, because there are two benefits here. First is interest is tax deductible, and but we need to have the trade-off, which is increase in the financial risk. And then we learn as well about the corporate restructuring. So basically, there are three things I learned. First is surviving and transforming a business. First, we need to stop the bleeding, financial restructuring, temporary pivoting, strategic realigning, redefining core business, and new ways of doing business. And in restructuring corporate structure, there are 8 things we need to consider: capital structure, working capital management, asset structure, revenue management, cost management, cash flow management, growth, and also risk management. And we learned about one case study, very interesting case study, RGR Nabisco. And we learned about the LBO, leverage buyout. So when the company A and the company B, I think from the last 2 weeks, I already recap this one. And in the asset management, just from 2 weeks ago, we learned about the dividend policy, and there were discussion in the class why public company need to pay dividend. So basically, there were three things. First is no tax, yeah, for the company and also the investor, and it's give us good signal that the company has good cash flow, so the company is consistent. And to avoid agency cost problem, basically the management boards are in comfort zone. Okay, that's from the investor or about the dividend, and this is from the company or the firm strategy. And next, I want to discuss about the from the investor point of view. So from the investor point of view, I learned about basically the main thing is investment strategy. So we have active investing and passive investing. So if it's passive, then we just follow the market. But for active investing, I learned a lot. There are fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and market and investor investment. For the fundamental analysis, first we learn about quantitative and qualitative. So quantitative, we need to know the macroeconomy, which sector or industry, and the firm itself. Qualitative, it's about the stock selection, market timing, short or long term. And we've learned as well the financial ratio analysis. There are five ratio that we need to understand: liquidity ratio, leverage ratio, profitability ratio, market ratio, and efficiency ratio. And we can use as well DuPont analysis. And we implement this ratio in one case study, XYZ company. And we also learn about the intrinsic value versus market price. So if the intrinsic value more than market price, so the decision is buy. If less than market price, the decision is sell or short shell. But if it's equal, then the decision is to hold. And one thing that we learn as well from the Warren Buffett way, that Warren Buffett is always using both method, yeah, quantitative and qualitative way to assess and minimal risk for long-term investment objective, and it requires a little maintenance. And we have covered the fundamental analysis, and I also learned about the technical analysis. Basically, there are many technical analysis, yeah, but what I understand now is moving average and uptrend or downtrend. And then I learned as well about the risk versus return, so high risk, high return, and we being asked to to evaluate from our own company in on the investment simulation with variance, correlation, covariance, beta, and also CAPM, capital asset pricing model. And then we learn about international financing. Basically, there are three things: foreign exchange market. When we learn about the future option, there's a call and put option, arbitrage. There are three: locational, coverage, and triangular. And then exchange rates. And Prof Roy Sembel also taught us about how to do personal financing plan, SAINS principle, how we need to prepare our emergency fund, and when we have more money, we need to invest in mutual fund, various mutual fund. And yeah, this is one thing that's very interesting: investment simulation. So in every week, from week 1 to week 6, I think 6-7 weeks, we being asked to gather or collect data, weekly written every week. It's Friday, and I got responsibility to monitor ENDF and our group. There is Antam, BCA, and TLKM as well. And then we learn about ethics, and there is an unethical versus illegal thing. And fraud risk, we learn about fraud triangle, perceived opportunity, perceived pressure, rationalization, and fraud statistic. Basically, the male 41 to 50 years old, 3 to 10 years of working is the most group category that doing fraud. So the solution is whistleblowing system, identify the wrongdoing, protect the integrity of the organization, and we need to also give the incentive to the employees, physical, monetary, social, or moral. And we also cover the issue on finance. So we've asked to watch a movie review. There are four movies, but for me, I watched the Rough Trader about Nick Lesson from the Barings Bank. He trading a derivative, and the lesson learned is we need to have a good corporate governance and good internal or external audit in our company. And also book summary review. There are four books: How to Make Money in Stocks, one of Up of Wall Street, Little Book of Behavioral Investing. This is the book that I read, and Hot Commodities. And we've asked to do presentation as well on the recent or hot issue on finance. There are Group 1, Sritek, Bang Jago, and our group is Jiwasraya, Cash. And the last thing is BPJS Ketenagakerjaan. And we've also learned a lot from our guest lectures, Pak Tommy Cipta Jaya, from the Green Hope, that we need to really contribute to the sustainability in our life, to being reduce the plastic and reuse the plastic as long as possible from our small contribution to our society. Yeah, I think that's all the recap we learned from the corporate finance. Thanks for watching my YouTube video, and thank you very much for Prof Roy Sembel and all my team classmates. Thank you. See you all.